Hi, students. So we're going to do this game together, and it's from preptest52. And this is an interesting one because right away you can see there's kind of an extra element being added in to our roster, as well as to the base. Some of these are short and some are long. So I'll just divide up my roster. Some people like to use like those subscripts, but I would rather do it this way. I have a total of 6 variables, and some of them are S and some of them are L. I said some people like to do something like that. I don't know. I just feel like it can become messy quickly. The base is interesting because basically we're just having 2 on one day, 2 on the second day, 2 on the third day. And then within those days, the order of those 2 is important. So it's not just like groups in order. Within those days, which one is first and which one is second will be important. They can't just flip around. And the reason for that has to do with the relative sequencing rules that we're about to look at. But first, we know that there's going to be one S and one L in each group. You could do something like that, but I know that each one is one S and one L. And then after that, we just have relative sequencing rules. So let's see. And what else? I can see that H is my only variable that has no rule attached to it. So I'm going to mark that with an asterisk. That's my free agent. It can go wherever. I can also see that these variables, it's important to note, like these can be up together. P doesn't need to be a day before N, not necessarily, although it can be. They can be together because P is short and N is long. So they can be together on any day, so long as P comes first. So there is an order within each group, so to speak. The same with T. T could be with O or with G, as long as the O or the G comes first, and then we need to have the other one also like on another day before it. That makes sense. I should probably start the questions now because I feel like I'm getting a little too into the hypotheticals. So the first one is just a general like apply the rules, aka complete an accurate list type of question. So each one is going to have something wrong with it, except for the correct one will have everything right with it and nothing wrong at all. So A is out because A doesn't have G coming before T, so that's a problem. Cross out A. I might have to pause this recording to go right after my mischievous dog. B looks good. The problem with C is that it doesn't have P before N. So that's a problem. We can take that one away. What is wrong with D? Okay, D has 2 short together on day 1, so I can stop right there. We can't do that. Everything needs one S and one L. So I can take off that one. And what about the very last one? Okay, the problem with the last one is that O is coming after T, and O needs to come before T. So that's why E is out. This leaves us with B as being our correct answer. And what I like to do when I have a correct answer is I'll just like write it down and keep it as part of my solution set if I haven't already established my solution set. So, because maybe we can use this again as previous work. Okay, maybe we can. So let's see, going to the next one. This one has a local rule on it. And it has a could be true degree of certainty. Let's set that up. So G is short. Well, the correct answer is E. I can just see it right now. Like if G is given on the first day, I know what they're testing here about E. If G is given on the first day, this is a short one. they're seeing if you understand that O and T can be together on the second day, which means that E would be a possibility. They're seeing if you understand that. That's why E is correct. We could do that. And then we would have the P, the N, and the H could somehow be distributed. Trying to figure out how exactly. A few different ways. As long as P is before N. So they could either, well, let's see. P is short. Actually, no. Excuse me, they can't. Because P is short, so P couldn't be right there. That couldn't happen. So P and N would have to go, like P would have to be over here, N would have to be over here. That means H would have to be over here. As soon as G is first and T is on the second day, everything here works. So E is the correct answer. E is one that could be true. So I know what all of y'all out there in sitting on your couch land are saying the same things I used to say when I was studying for my LSAT. Why can't A be true also? What about B? I got more than one correct answer. Okay, that's not okay. You can't do that. So let me show you why A through D are wrong. If G is on the first day and G is short, let's just put, I guess it could go in either spot on the first day, either first or second. Well, N can't be on the first day because N is long and N needs to have P come before it. So how would that work? So A is not correct. What about B? Could O be on the first day? Well, no, because O is short. You can't have two shorts together. So B is now out. What about P? Could P be on the first day? Well, no, because P is short too. So this is not okay. It is not kosher. It is not. What about, can H be given on the second day? Well, what's wrong with that one, right? H is long. Let's see what would happen if we put H on the second day in either position, either first or second. Well, now I have to make sure everything else falls correctly. O needs to come before T. I'm gonna like basically apply every single rule. In order for O, which is short, to come before T, now O will have to be over here because O can't be on the first spot. So O will have to be there in the middle, and then T will have to be on the last day, and T is long. So then how am I going to make P come before N? I can't do that because P is short and N is long. So that wouldn't work. And it would be the exact same thing if I tried to push H into the second spot. It really wouldn't matter. It would leave us with the exact same layout. We now need to follow the rules. G is first. G is in the first day. So we need to make sure that O comes before T. The only way to do that, again, is to put O in the second day and T in the third day. And this again just leaves us with, we have to put P in the first day and N in the third day, which is wrong because we can't do that. So A through D, not possible. E is possible. It is, folks. Okay. Oh no, I took it away. I'm a little tired right now. Some of you might be saying, is that really the time over there? And yeah, it is. But clock's not wrong. It's this time. Let's look at number 15. I like to sometimes actually like put their numbers here with the solution. Number 15 gives us a local condition N before O. So I cannot help but notice that N is attached to something else and O is attached to other things. Let's try to like zhuzh all this together to make a big merged system. So if N is before O and then they ask me a question, but let's not even worry about that right now. Let's just make N come before O. I also know that P comes before N. I also know that T has to come after O. I also know that G would, I guess, go running off to the side there. G just has to come before T. Doesn't need to be before anything else, but it needs to be before T. So it can just kind of like hang over there. And then H would be the only thing left, and could just go anywhere. So this would be a whole system that describes how all 6 of my variables relate to each other. So what must be true? What must be true is C. P is before O, people. That's the one that must be true. Everything else is going to be stuff that usually the incorrect answers on a must be true or things that could be true. So N before G, no, G can stretch all the way out. These lines can stretch. G could be first. Same with B is wrong for the same reason. G could be first. H doesn't need to be before anything. D's not right. And again, E involves the H variable, and the H variable is totally free. So I would say that's not going to be involved in it must be true. What about number 16? Moving right along. So here's what this is asking. Which one of the following can't be in that position? Right there. Well, here's what I know. T can be in that position, and that's not when the answer choices. Okay. What I like to do these by looking at because it's a cannot be true, I like to do these by looking at my solution set I have and seeing what could be true and crossing it off and then going from there. I can't really do that because my solution set is not helping me. Well, wait, a little bit it is. Excuse me. I get more help than just, yeah, I can see that T could be there, but really I could also look at my my system that I created for number 15. And this is a solution too. I just didn't kind of draw out every possibility within it. But I know for sure that H is something that could be in that spot because H could be anywhere, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cross off A. Okay, B is something I wouldn't cross off based off this because P can't be that far back. No. Could O be that far back? Sure, it could. O is something, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, yeah, O could be there. We could do N and O. N is long, O is short. So O could be in that position. And then we could also do, let's see, T is long. There we go. See, O could be in that position. Wait, that was C. What about D? Could N be in that position? I don't see why not. I actually, from what I'm seeing, just at the possibility, from the possibility I just drew, these two could actually switch, right? And there's no reason why they can't. We would still have P before N and T having O and G before it. So N could also be in that position just as easily. And what is E? Could G be in that position? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because you could look at that little web I just made and see that G is pretty free. Could G possibly be right here? Let's see. G is short, so G needs to have T come after it, and that's like the rule that's attached to G basically. And T is long, so I'll put T right here, and that means that O will have to be right here. And then what else do we have? H could go anywhere. Well, it's long, so it could go right there, and then we could do P and then N. That totally works. So yeah, everything except for B is a possibility for that spot. Maybe I could use some of this work to solve the next one. Why can't B work? Let me figure that one out. Why can't P be there? Well, here's why. What would happen if P is in that spot? P is short. So N would have to come after it. So N would have to be somewhere over here. It could be here. It could be here. It's long. From there, I'm going to have to follow my next rule, which is that T has O and G before it. And T is long, so T couldn't be here. It can't be in the third space. Basically, it would have to be over here. And then how can we put both O and G in the first one? We can't. They're both short. So this is the one that doesn't work. I gave my dog a snack, so she would be good while I do this video. I feel like the worst mom in the world. Okay, let's do number 17, yeah. Okay, 17 gives us a local condition, but it can be fulfilled in two ways. Don't you think? It's getting a little bit sloppy. It just says if H is on the second day. Now, I do have some previous work here, but I'm also just going to go ahead and, just for clarity, that can actually be fulfilled in two different ways. Because we can have H the first day, the first position of the second day, or the second position of the second day. Yeah. And H is long. Okay. Ooh, then what could be true? I would be very likely to just like lean on that, but I want to show y'all how the correct answer is correct. Although I would say use your previous work always. So let me go ahead and use my previous work. Do I see any of these answer choices in there? I actually do. I do see the correct answer choice, which is D. So when you can use your previous work, do it and just be done with the problem. It is entirely possible to put H on the second day and then also put O on the third day. Now, for those of y'all who wanted me to show you like why the other things aren't possible, let's do that. Well, we can't put T on the first day. We know that because how would that happen? So that was never going to be right. So A is definitely gone. What about B? There's no way that we could put N on day 2 with H because N is long. So B is out. What about C? Could T be on the second day? It can't, no, because T is also long. And what about the very last one? Could P be on the third day? Well, I feel like that one's going to take a little bit more work. Could P possibly be on the third day? P needs to be before N. So if P was on the third day, N would have to be on the third day too, right after it. And this leaves us with T, O, and G to distribute. And that's a problem because T needs to have both O and G before it. But we can't do this because O and G are short and T is long. So how would that work? It wouldn't. E is out. So that's this game. If anybody has a question, you can leave it in the comments box. If you have a request for like a game you want to see me do, leave it in the comments section, the comment box. Leave it below this video. And I hope this has been super helpful for everybody. Thank you for watching. I love making these videos and I just hope they're helpful for everyone who sees them. See y'all in the next video. Bye.